Hey guys, what's going on? It's Josh here with TV, and today we're going to be doing a review and unboxing of the Zelio cell camera. Now this cell camera just came out and I was able to partner with the company to bring you guys this video, and let me tell you, man am I impressed. For the price point on this camera, everything that it offers, it's honestly incredible. Now first things first, what I want to talk about is the price point on this camera. You can go ahead, pick this camera up for about $100 on Amazon, which is pretty good in the realm of cell cameras today. I know there's a lot of cameras around that price point. Wild Game Innovations, Spy Point has some around there, Muddy has some around there, and then you got some of your bigger names such as Spartan, which I love my Spartan camera, I use it all the time. But I was honestly incredibly impressed with the quality that this camera brings in at $100. Now to give you guys a better look of the overall packaging that this camera comes in, it's a pretty good cardboard box. It's got a whole bunch of stuff on the outside of it detailing what this camera all entails, and it also gives you some of the other color options that you can order this camera in. But overall, to open up the box, it's incredibly simple. You have one tab right there, and then it pops open. Right here on this inside flap, you have two QR codes that you can scan. One to get the app for the camera, and another to actually learn how to set up the camera with YouTube videos, which I think is awesome. You know, not a lot of companies out there providing that information, but they will give you a step-by-step on how to set up the camera, how to assemble it, and how to pair it to the app for the camera. Now moving on, first thing you're going to see in this box is the solar panel. That's right, this camera comes with a solar panel already. No need for batteries, no need to go out and buy a solar panel. It comes with it, and for $100, that's unheard of. I've had no issues using this camera with the solar panel so far. And the way that they decided to connect it is a different way. It's a USB-C connection that has two thumb screws on it, which is really nice because I have had experiences in the past with my solar panels getting pulled out by raccoons. But this makes sure that it's going to stay in the body of the camera and raccoons aren't going to be able to pull this off. So I'm just going to go ahead and set the solar panel off to the side right now. After that, you got another piece of just packing foam, and then you start to get into the main body of the packaging itself. So you're going to have your user manual. It's going to come with a nice cloth. You have all your hardware up here in this top box, and down here in the bottom we have the camera. So let's go ahead and pop that out. It comes in a nice protected plastic bag, super soft, not going to scratch up your lens. And there's the camera right out of the box. It looks great. I mean, just the overall packing and the finish of the camera itself, it's really heavy duty too. Like you can tell it's got some girth, weight in here, and that's due to the internal battery of the camera. You don't need to put any batteries in this camera at all. There's not even a slot for you to put it in. Another nice feature that Zelio provides is they give you an SD card with the camera already. It's right there. And then you also have the option to change out your SIM card if you desire, but they make sure to provide you that SIM card right there already pre-inserted into your camera. So setting the camera aside, the next thing in the box is going to be this white packaging, cardboard packaging right here. And it's just covering up your tree strap as well as your antenna right here. And honestly, my favorite part about this camera is this bracket right here. This bracket allows you to hang the camera high up in the tree. I do a lot of public land hunting, so what I like to do with my cameras is put them, 10, 12 feet up. And normally what I do is I take a stick and I wedge it behind the camera to angle the camera down. Well, this bracket right here allows you to adjust the angle of the camera, and I will show you guys that here in just a little bit. But this bracket provides so much tilt for the camera. It's a game changer for me, and it's going to be a game changer for you, especially you guys that hunt public land. Putting these cameras up wanting to get them out of the reach of other people, because the last thing you want is to have a trail camera stolen on public property. And then right here we just have our basic tree strap. It's a nice heavy duty canvas strap with a metal buckle at the end of it. Bites really well onto the strap, but another thing that I really like that they did is they provided a little plastic debuckle here, so when you loop it around the tree, you can take your excess and tuck it into here, so it's not just flapping around in the wind, or you got to sit there and wrap it around the tree 100 times. It's just little details like that that sets this camera apart from some of the other competitors. And then finally, up here in the upper box, you have your screwdriver for your solar panel. They provide you with a Phillips screwdriver, a little stubby one to help assemble. If you wanted to use any of their other mounts that they have. And then you have your big long T-handle screw for that wedge mount that I was describing earlier. And then finally you have your actual solar panel mount right here for the camera itself. Now to set up this camera is incredibly easy. First thing I like to do is take my antenna and just screw it into the top of the camera. The little dust guard for the antenna can be moved easily out of the way, so that way you make sure you have a good seat on your actual camera body right there. Then you just go ahead and slide that down, weatherproof it real good. Next step that I like to do is to take the tilt bracket, line it up with the back of your camera, and it actually, like it clicks in there pretty good to where you know it's in the right place of where it needs to be. And then I'll take my T-handle screw, slide it in, and right there we have our bracket set up for our tree strap. With this, it allows almost 40 degrees of tilt either direction for the camera. So you can put this up pretty high, and within the settings of the camera itself, you can go ahead and change your trigger feet if you want 20, 30, 40, and it can really broadcast out there a good ways to make sure that you're getting the pictures that you need to be getting on these trail cameras. And finally, for your solar panel, what you're going to do is take off this little silicone cover that they provide for the bottom of the camera, and you're going to line up your plug. It's going to seat in there nice, and then you're going to take the supplied screwdriver and just make sure that it seats in there nice. I like to do an even tighten with them, just so that way I'm not stripping anything out. And then just make sure you snug them down. You don't want them too tight, but you want it tight enough to where it has a good connection, but you don't want to strip it out. Just like with anything. And finally, you have your solar panel connected. Now, the mount that they provide for their solar panel within the kit, I don't like to run out on public land just because you have to screw into the tree. That's what these screws are provided for. But what I do like to use, I don't have one now to show you guys, but at my work we actually sell a solar panel mount that will screw into the back of the solar panel right here using these two bolts, and then it goes to another tree strap. It's just a thing on, up here, public land, we're not supposed to screw things into trees, but this bracket does come in handy if you can put it out on your private ground. Just go ahead, zip this into a tree real quick, and then you can put your solar panel however you want. This mount really gives you a lot of adjustability within mounting your solar panel. And then there's just a screw down here on the bottom for you to go ahead, tighten it up, lock in that location of your solar panel. To connect the camera to the app you're using, what you're going to do is just flip on the on switch right here. And this is going to just take a couple seconds for the camera to connect to some network. and from there then we are going to continue. But first, on our end, what we can do is hit the plus sign in the upper right corner. We're going to select the hunting camera tab and then the CTC010, and we're going to wait for this to give us a signal. It's going to speak out loud.
Network connected successful.
Right there.
Please scan the QR code.
So you're going to hit, I heard the voice prompt, click next step, shows a QR code.
QR code scan successful.
Show it right there. Click the box again, go to next step, and now our phone is searching for the device. This step might just take a little bit, but right there, it paired. You can go ahead and name this whatever you want. So I'm going to name mine public camera number 2. Hit OK. Now what it's going to do, it's going to update the camera automatically, and now I have the camera hooked up in my app. Right there, you can see I've got 1 and 2. The cameras are super easy to set up. Honestly, it's really incredible. But now the camera's all ready to go. So now that we have the camera all set up, what we're going to go ahead and do is jump on out to my private property. We're going to set this camera up down in a river bottom that we have out there, that we suspect deer are using to travel in these later winter months to get out of the wind, to get out of the cold. And we're going to throw this up down there on a big deer trail and see what kind of pictures we get. So let's head that way. We're here, getting ready to set up the camera. Got it all connected just like it was back at the house. This is the solar panel adapter that I like to use. Just a little screw-on adapter to a T-post. I am on private land, so I can kind of put this wherever I want, but the camera and the solar panel are still connected. So what I want to do is just get this all set up here, and it's not too hard. We're kind of in position. I'm on a deer trail right here, and then it splits off behind me, so I kind of want to aim up the deer trail. And that looks pretty good. Now with the solar panel, I like to leave as much as I can kind of in the bundle right here. And then I will just come over to my T-post adapter and just start to thread it on. One thing that helps is if you can pull the T-post up out of the ground. And there we go. I don't want to seat it too far in there, but with these adapters, they have a wing nut on the bottom side of them to where you can tighten them up where the panel's not going to move. Just like that. Then we'll go seat that back down. Now with my solar panels, best to have them, pointing straight up to where they get sun all the time. But being it's late season, the sun's going to be primarily in this area more than it's going to be in this area. And with it snowing, I like to just tilt my panels just ever so slightly. Just about like that. And then it'll shed the snow off and everything. But now our camera's set, our panel's set. All what we need to do is come in here, flick on the system. It's just going to take a second and it'll say a couple words to us. Just searching for signal right now. And it'll let us know when it's ready.
Network connected.
Right there.
Successful.
That's one big thing that I really like about these cameras, is that it's an audio, hey, yeah, we're good, we're connected, everything's good. So with that, we're all good. So we can just close this back up. And then the last thing that I like to do is come back over here on this side and really nail down my angle that I want the camera at. Seems like I want it a little more that way. Pull the strap tight, and then we'll take that wing nut and we'll tighten her up, and then we can take our cord, wrap her back around. I have the that D loop back here, so what I like to do, just make sure it's good, and then I should have just enough to pull that back around and feed it back in that D loop. And just like that, we have our Zelio camera all set up, ready to go. So in the next part of this video, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you guys the pictures that it takes. I'm going to show you guys the app after the pictures and kind of how to navigate that. But overall, the setup on this camera is incredibly simple. Alright, and we're back. I've had the Zelio camera put out for about 2.5 weeks now. And I've got some footage to show with you guys, both daytime and nighttime footage, just to show you guys how the quality of the camera is and everything. So let's start getting through that footage. So right here on this first video, I'm scrubbing through the playback option on the Casa app, and we will see we have 2 does walking this ridge line. Pretty good footage. Obviously you can see the quality of the image is pretty high. You can go in the live function and select 2 different qualities while you're watching live on these cameras, which is pretty cool. But for the quality that it records, it's very, very well. Alright, so moving on to the next video that we have right here. Just scrubbing through the footage in the playback option once again to try and get back. And this one looks like it's going to be at 3:30 in the morning, so we got a night video right here. And this is actually a new buck that showed up on this property. We haven't seen him at all this year, but as you can tell, pretty good footage. You know, clear picture. You can see him really well. You can make out a good definitive picture of him and everything. And I liked it quite a bit. But yeah, he's a new deer we have on the property. He wasn't there at all during the entire rest of the year, but super happy about that deer right there. Moving on to the third video. This one's going to be at 3:30 in the morning as well. And we got a coyote right here coming in. You can see him pretty well on the video. Crystal clear. You can definitely make out what that coyote is. And yeah, I just want to show this video just because it was a good video to show. Nighttime footage, super clear. And finally, the last video that we had, this is a bunch of deer that I had come in the other day. And they're going to walk right up next to this camera. And you can just see with that image right there, I mean, it's crystal clear. These does came in and hung out around the camera for a while. They're kind of investigating it. Just because I got the solar panel right there off to the side of the tree. See this doe right here, she's kind of checking it out. She's like, whoa, what's that? But overall, you can see the image quality is super high. And I don't think you guys are going to be let down on these cameras. Now, if you guys are interested in picking up one of these Zelio cameras, you can go on Amazon, type in ZELO cell camera, and they should pop up for you. They range for about $100 shipped. Like I said before, they come with a solar panel, super good cell service. That camera's down all the way in a ravine bottom. I have no issues connecting to it. And overall, they're built extremely well. I haven't had any issues with them freezing up on me. I've had freezing rain, I've had snow, I've had rain, I've had fog in all of the last 2 weeks. And I haven't had an issue with these cameras at all. Sending videos, sending pictures. They're honestly pretty amazing for the $100 price point at which they come at. Not to mention, they come with an internal battery and a solar panel already included. You can't beat it. For $100, you can't beat that right now in the cell cam game. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, these trail cameras, for what they are, they're pretty freaking awesome. And I hope you guys, pick one up, try one out for yourself. And with that, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.